Rick Santorum is going to defend Donald Trump's Muslim ban at the undercard debate last night. Let's watch.
You've made religious liberty a hallmark of your career. Do you believe in religious liberty for Muslims as well as Christians?
Of course I do. But what Donald Trump was saying was nothing against Muslims. His comment was against this administration, who doesn't have a policy to properly vet people coming into this country. Let's just be honest about what's being talked about here. And I know people will pile on because it makes sense to pile on, maybe from the polls. But he brings up a legitimate issue. The fact of the matter is, not all Muslims are jihadists, and no one, including I suspect Donald Trump, would say that. But the reality is, all jihadists are Muslims. That's a reality. And we have to stop worrying about offending some people and start defending all Americans, because we're not right now.
All right, there's so many parts of that I adore. First of all, he says, what Trump was saying was nothing against Muslims. Dude, he advocated for a ban on all Muslims from entering the United States of America. That is, by definition, targeting Muslims. And it's not just targeting some Muslims. It's not targeting jihadists. It's not targeting Islamists. He's saying all Muslims, keep them out. And Rick Santorum goes out there and says, what Trump was saying was nothing against Muslims. Okay, that is like, that should be in the dictionary under contradiction. How do you not see that? Does your brain just not have a logic level or a meter or a setting? Can you're not perceptive. Apparently you don't get it. It's so obvious, it's so out there. But, you know, mental gymnastics, I guess, to bend over backwards to be kind to Trump. Who knows? Maybe Rick Santorum is trying to jockey for position to be VP or be somewhere in the cabinet or something like that. And then he says, well, I mean, look, he's got legitimate concerns talking about Trump. No, he doesn't. Because, you know, the problem is we don't have vetting for the refugees. That's the problem. Except that is absolutely not true. Not only do we have good vetting, I would say it's probably the best vetting in the world. We went through the process on the show before. I gave you all the details of it. You know, there's multiple steps, multiple government agencies are involved. There's an interview with the Department of Homeland Security. You dig into their background. Sometimes it takes people between a year and 3 years to get here. There's biometric screening. Everything you can think of. So much so that I'm comfortable with saying let more refugees in here because it's the right thing to do as long as you're helping people who actually need the help and they're not radical Islamists or anything. It's the right thing to do, and we can be relatively certain based on our great vetting that we're going to bring in the right people. But he just brushes that all aside. Either he's ignorant, so he doesn't know the facts on it, or he knows and he's just lying. But that's, you know, you're just wrong. Plain and simple, you're just wrong, Rick. And then, of course, the great line, you know, not all Muslims are jihadists, but all jihadists are Muslim. Yeah, that's true. Ooh, you got us! Ooh, you got us, tough guy. But I love how then that leads to the logical conclusion of ban all Muslims from entering the U.S. No, that doesn't lead to that conclusion. That conclusion is nowhere near the point you made. But, you know, think about that point in almost any other context. So why can't somebody say, not all white boys are mass shooters, but the overwhelming majority of mass shooters are white boys. Therefore, don't allow in any white boys who are refugees or immigrants or anything. From Europe, you're done. You're done. Australia, sorry. You're done. Why? Hey, not all white boys are mass shooters, but most mass shooters are white boys. So it's a risk here. 32,000 people die from gun violence in the U.S. every year. I guess we should keep out all white boys. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. But funny how he tries to use that logic on Muslims, totally cool. On white boys, oh my God, discriminatory. I do believe it'd be discriminatory in both cases.